Hello, this is James with confessionsofahospicenurse.net, and this is a companion video I have made for episode 16 of the Hospice Nursing Podcast, where I talk about how we should manage our patients and their symptoms in the last 7 days of life. And this is the opioid conversion chart that I have created, and in this video, I will explain how to use this chart. So, the main thing I want you to take away from this video is we are dealing with morphine milligram equivalents, which is this right here, okay? And anytime you are converting a patient from one medication, one opioid to the other, your morphine milligram equivalent, morphine is like your base, okay? So I went ahead and created this this form or this tool because I wanted to help my nurses understand how to convert from morphine to other medications and then from other medications to morphine. And so if you'll look, I have the opioid name over here, and then I have that morphine equivalent, all right? So each one of these medications here is equal to 30 milligrams of morphine. And so the way to do this math for you is that if you are converting from morphine here to one of these other medications on the list, okay, any of these others, you will divide. So if you're going down the list, you divide. And if you are going from one of these medications up the list and converting them to morphine, then you will multiply. Now, don't use this list to try to convert fentanyl to hydromorphone and trying to multiply or whatever. If you're taking somebody from fentanyl to hydromorphone, you would need to convert the fentanyl to morphine and then convert the morphine to hydromorphone or oxycodone or whatever it is you're trying to do. So that might be a little confusing here at first, but that's just kind of how to use this. So you don't try to convert from one of these opioids to another one of the opioids. You convert it to morphine, and then you convert the morphine to whatever other medication you are wanting. So for this example, if we have morphine and we're wanting to convert the 30 milligrams or whatever our dose of morphine is to oxycodone, we will divide. So we will take 30 divided by 1.5 to get our oxycodone, right? So if you take 30 and divide it by 1.5, you get 20 milligrams of oxycodone. And the opposite is true, is that if you're converting tramadol, because you've been giving your patient tramadol, to morphine, then you take the tramadol and you multiply it by that to get your morphine, okay? And I think this is a good time to talk about codeine and tramadol and whether or not they are very good medications to give our patients at the end of life. And you can see that these medications are actually not very strong. It takes 300 milligrams of tramadol to give you 30 milligrams of morphine, or 200 milligrams of codeine to get you 30 milligrams, because it's only 15%. So these are not very good end-of-life medications. So I just want everybody to kind of understand what is useful and what isn't. So if you decide that you want to convert a patient who is taking, let's just say they're taking oxycodone, and you want to, and now they can't swallow these pills, and let's just pretend they're taking a total of 20 milligrams a day. Well, to convert the oxycodone to morphine, you take the total dose and then you multiply it by 1.5, and that gives you your morphine dose. And the rule is that oxycodone is 1.5 times stronger than morphine. So if you have 20 milligrams of oxycodone, then you give 30 milligrams of morphine. So that's why in the podcast, I talk about the fact that everybody's like, well, hydromorphone is stronger, so let's change them to hydromorphone. And that's true. Hydromorphone is 4 times as strong. But you still have to do the math. You can give a morphine dose that's just as strong as hydromorphone. You just have to give more of it. Okay? You just have to give a higher dose of the morphine to equal that. So don't just change from morphine to hydromorphone or oxycodone just because they're stronger. It's about the math. So if you have somebody that you're wanting to change to oxycodone or hydromorphone because it's stronger, just know that if somebody is used to taking 20 or 30 milligrams of morphine and you decide to give them 1 milligram of hydromorphone or Dilaudid, you're actually not giving them enough because it's 4 times as strong. So if you only give them 1 milligram of hydromorphone, that's only 4 milligrams of your morphine. Okay, so I hope this kind of makes sense to you. You can use this with the training that I've done to help you convert from one medication to the other to make sure that you're giving the right amount. So just remember, if you want to convert from morphine to something else, you divide morphine by this other number to get what you want. And if you're wanting to convert one of these other meds to morphine, then you multiply. So if you're going down the list, you divide. But if you're going up the list, you multiply. So I am James Dibben with confessionsofahospicenurse.net and the Hospice Nursing Podcast. And hopefully this video has helped you. Feel free to leave questions in the comments here on YouTube or to email me at james@confessionsofahospicenurse.net.